Well, we are just 12 days away from the 2024 presidential election, and a new national poll has former President Donald Trump now ahead of Vice President Kamala Harris. Not by a lot, but ahead. The Wall Street Journal poll shows Trump with a 2-point lead over Harris. That is still within the margin of error. So again, it's tight.
Tight, yeah!
And with the race so close, we know that date's going to be here before we know it.
Donald Trump spoke at the annual meeting of the National Association of Black Journalists. And it was the same old show.
Now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you, why should black voters trust you?
I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country, including employment, including opportunity zones with Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina.
The program was created in 2017, a change in tax law to promote investment in low-income communities.
We're drawing investment into neglected and underserved communities of America so that all Americans, regardless of zip code, have access to the American dream. I've done so much, and, and I say this, historically black colleges and universities were out of money, they were stone cold broke, and I saved them, and I gave them long-term financing. My administration will continue to preserve, support, and advance our cherished HBCUs. We secured record funding for HBCUs, and I signed legislation that made HBCU funding permanent. I sent nearly $1 billion to HBCUs so they can continue providing a high-quality education to students.
And it was the same old show. The divisiveness and the disrespect.
I think it's a very nasty question. I have answered the question. I have been the best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln.
Trump really a racist? No, I can't say that he is. I ain't never heard of him being racist prior to running for president. That's just me though. I mean, because any two ways you look at it, the man won his presidency without the black vote. What he need it for? What he need us for? Tell me what he need me for. He don't need me. But for some reason, he always get up on that stage talking about how low black unemployment is. Because he legitimately cares.
And let me just say, the American people deserve better. The American people deserve a leader who tells the truth.
Oh, no, she didn't. Oh, yes, she did.
You know, there's so many of my mother's recipes that she never wrote anything down. It was just a matter of watching. And so some of them I have been able to recreate. Excited. And let me just tell you, I saw how you have it handwritten. And this is exactly in my family how we have passed down recipes. Like these handwritten. She never wrote anything down. It was just a matter of watching. And so some of them I have been able to recreate. And let me just tell you, I saw how you have it handwritten. And this is exactly in my family how we have passed down recipes. Like these handwritten. She never wrote anything down. It was just a matter of watching how you have it handwritten. And this is exactly in my family how we have passed down recipes. Like these handwritten. And you know, part of the problem is with family recipes, like my mother would not give up the family recipes. Like it was literally like, or she would say, oh, just a little bit of this and a little bit of that. The kids, my husband will always say, why don't you write down your recipes? And I've realized I probably should start doing that. The family joke is that if somebody asks me for the recipe, I'll just say, well, it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's like my mother would not give up the family recipes. Like it was literally like, or she would say, oh, just a little bit of this and a little bit of that. The family joke is that if somebody asks me for the recipe, I'll just say, well, it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. The American people deserve a leader who tells the truth.
I think, frankly, she doesn't have the intellectual capability to keep up. And what I see in her is an influence clearly by academic bubbles, people in academic bubbles that have no real-world experience. First of all, we know that she is continuing to plagiarize. We haven't even brought this up yet, but just to hammer home that a sitting vice president who has made her way through the ranks of senator, attorney general, DA, these things she touts, is still using plagiarized language from other people's work. She is still failing to, again, draw from experience in these roles because there is none. Because what she simply does, I see, is parrot what someone tells her, what some academic, conceptual person tells her without real-world experience. She's never made a overhead. She's never made payment. I mean, there are things in the real world, the instant that you are in the real world and earn your own money, that you know. I mean, it's a joke that someone of the caliber of her office truly fails to understand the law or the real world whatsoever.
Credit scores, you have to hear this though, because we judge credit and healthy credit based on an assumption you have money, so we look at credit card payments. Instead of, hey, how about if their family's paying their phone bill on time, and paying their rent on time, and paying their utility bills on time? We should be measuring that as part of, you are a responsible person financially, so they can qualify for credit. Right. Done.
That's good.
Okay.
And she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black.
Okay, so what we're going to cook today is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because you are Indian.
Yes.
Okay, and I don't know that everybody knows that, but I find that wherever I go and I see Indian people at the supermarket, on the street, everyone's like, you know, Kamala Harris is Indian, right? It's like our thing we're so excited about.
So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She has always identified as a black woman.
To be outreach and inclusion.
And certainly you could become the first Indian senator in U.S. history, which would be quite an accomplishment.
Not good.
Because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn, and she became a black person.
Just to be
and I'm black and I'm proud. Let's say it loud.
Wait a minute, say that again. I didn't hear you. What did you say?
Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud.
Okay, so what we're going to cook today is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because you are Indian.
Yes.
Okay, and I don't know that everybody knows that.
If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
And I think that when you're looking at the nature of the argument about, she just still only talks about Trump. From the start she has. He is defined. They've done it. And Americans love him anyway. We love him anyway. We're not denying anything. We're not pretending. We love him anyway. They now needed her to do something else in that regard.